Prince Harry isn't just going through a rough patch. He's unraveling. People close to him say it's not just emotional, it's a full-blown spiral. Behind those picture-perfect Instagram posts and tightly rehearsed speeches lies a man battling ghosts, ones he's carried since childhood. And now, under the pressure of fatherhood, fame, and fractured family ties, those ghosts are kicking down the door. He's in therapy, yes, but this isn't the kind where you sit on a couch and talk about feelings. This is deep, raw, and painful. Sources say Harry's sessions dig into the darkest parts of his soul, the parts he's terrified might turn him into the one person he's always feared becoming, King Charles. That's right, Harry's not just healing, he's terrified of repeating his father's coldness, his detachment, his royal silence. And what's heartbreaking? He's still reeling from that infamous moment when he was born and Charles reportedly said, "Oh God, it's a boy and he's got red hair." Whether it was a joke or not, that single comment cut deep. Diana felt it. Something inside her shifted. And Harry, he carried that hurt into adulthood. Now, with 2 children of his own, that wound is wide open. He wants to be a better father. But he's haunted by the fear that maybe, just maybe, the damage is already done. Meghan, meanwhile, has been his anchor. Some critics say she controls every inch of his world, but those who know Harry insist she's the only one he fully trusts. She encouraged the therapy. She championed the mental health advocacy. She's his rock. But here's where things get complicated. What started as healing has turned into something more aggressive. It's not just about feeling better, it's about calling out King Charles, about making him pay, about dragging his father into a courtroom of emotions and demanding an admission of guilt for everything, real or imagined. And that's where things get dangerous. Royal insiders say Harry isn't just trying to heal anymore. He wants justice, he wants vindication, he wants his father to look him in the eye and say, "I failed you." But that confession, it may never come. And in chasing it, Harry's slipping further into emotional chaos. Even Angela Levin, his former biographer, has noticed the change. She said watching him speak recently was like seeing a stranger, lifeless, robotic, hollow. The sparkle that once made Harry the people's prince? Gone. What remains is a man drowning in emotional exhaustion, barely able to hold it together. And that private pain, it's bleeding into everything. His marriage, his kids, his causes. Meghan, Archie, Lilibet, they're all revolving around someone who's lost his footing. His desperation has reached new heights. He's posting photos of the children, showcasing sweet family moments on social media, not for warmth, but to provoke his father. To guilt King Charles into reacting, into caring, into something. But Charles? He's not taking the bait. It's not out of cruelty, it's caution. With his health in decline and his trust shattered, the king reportedly fears that any communication will be leaked, twisted, or turned into content. Palace insiders say Charles still loves Harry. That hasn't changed. But love doesn't mean enabling behavior that could destroy everything. This isn't a father-son chat anymore. It's a cold war. No shouting, just silence. And the silence, it's deafening. So what does Harry really want? A public apology? A tearful confession? A royal press release admitting every paternal mistake? Or is it something even deeper? Something Charles can never give? Those who understand the palace's inner workings say this goes beyond trauma. It's about identity, about control, about trying to rewrite a legacy Harry never asked to be a part of. And Meghan? She's right there in the middle of it, not just as a wife, but as a strategist, an advisor, some say even an echo chamber. She reminds Harry he's strong for speaking out, that he's right to demand answers, that vulnerability is power. But others worry it's created a loop, one where healing has turned into obsession, one where Harry can't see the line anymore between recovery and revenge. Friends say he truly believes that if Charles would just say, "I'm sorry," everything would change, that the pain would lift, that the healing would begin. But reality doesn't work that way. And Charles, he's not offering that apology, not on camera, not in private, not at all, especially not while battling cancer and holding the crumbling monarchy together. Then there's the kids. A new controversy erupted when Meghan told a sweet story in an interview about Archie and Lilibet running a farmer's market stall in Montecito, selling veggies to learn the value of money. Cute, right? Until the fact checkers stepped in. Turns out in California, you need permits for that, and no such stand existed under their name. The story fell apart quickly. Critics pounced. Another carefully crafted narrative, they said. More smoke and mirrors, even worse. It looked eerily similar to what Catherine, Princess of Wales, has done with her own children. Community gardens, farmers markets, hands-on values. Was it wholesome inspiration or calculated mimicry? Many called it cosplay, not coincidence. Whether Meghan meant well or not, the timing couldn't be worse. Every misstep makes it harder for Harry to regain public trust. His speeches feel hollow, his interviews strained, and his crusade against his father, it's looking more like grief on steroids than justice. Therapy, unfortunately, isn't saving him, because healing takes two, and when only one side is willing to talk, the cycle stays broken. And here's the real kicker. If Harry's only compass is Meghan, then what happens if her direction is off? What if her version of healing is actually feeding the fire? The palace hasn't made a sound, as expected. No official statements, no public jabs. But don't be fooled. Behind those centuries-old walls, things are simmering. Insiders whisper of exhaustion, frustration, betrayal. Harry wasn't just the spare. For a time, he was the crown's golden boy. The charming soldier with the cheeky grin, the one who made people laugh, who hugged strangers, who brought humanity to the royal image. And now, they watch him unravel in front of cameras, tearing down the very family that once shielded him. King Charles, despite his flaws, is still a father. Those close to him say he's crushed, not with anger, but with that deep, icy heartbreak that doesn't explode, just withdraws. He's tried, they say, private letters, quiet invites, even financial support far longer than expected. But Harry, he keeps swinging the memoirs. The explosive interviews, the Netflix exposés, they don't stop. And Charles, he's tired, fighting cancer. Holding up an ancient institution with trembling hands, he no longer has the strength to entertain emotional warfare. He has a crown to carry, a public to reassure, and a legacy to protect. He's made a decision. Boundaries must be set, even if it means cutting off his own son. The moment everything changed, insiders say the late queen saw it coming. The day Harry and Meghan told her they wanted to collaborate with the crown, her expression said it all. That single word, collaborate, wasn't royal, it was corporate, it was branding. She knew instantly this wasn't about service, it was about spotlight. You don't collaborate with the monarchy, you serve it. And when she gently shut that door, she did it to protect both the family and the institution. Charles has carried that torch forward, even if it's shattered him inside. Because being a monarch means making impossible choices, and sometimes that means standing firm, even when your child is on the other side of the line. Harry doesn't see that though, not from where he's standing. All he sees is the rejection, the silence, the refusal to validate his pain. And it's wrecking him. He can't seem to understand that sometimes love doesn't mean yes. Sometimes the greatest act of care is knowing when to say no. And Meghan, she's still smiling in interviews, still talking about values, purpose, and homegrown tomatoes, but people are starting to see through it. The contradictions are piling up. Her speeches sound more like Pinterest boards than real life. The anecdotes feel rehearsed, the image too curated, too polished, and way too perfect. Public opinion is shifting, not out of cruelty, but fatigue. The public gave them a chance, gave them empathy, but now the cracks are glaring, and it's hard to ignore when every claim seems to come with a twist. Every gesture feels staged, and every demand for privacy is followed by another exclusive interview. What's left? A couple asking the world to leave them alone while handing out press passes. A prince who escaped the royal fishbowl only to build a bigger glass box around himself and bleed publicly for applause. And a royal family, tired and stoic, quietly doing what they've always done, survive in silence. Harry once said he wanted to break the cycle. Maybe deep down he still does. But here's the brutal truth. Breaking the cycle doesn't mean setting fire to everything behind you. It means doing the hard, messy work of healing, of forgiving, of letting go of the apology that may never come. Because if Harry keeps chasing closure like it's a trophy, he'll never find peace. Not from his father, not from the press, not from the public, and definitely not from himself. He's not the first royal to hurt, and he won't be the last. But how he chooses to move forward now, whether he stays in the pain or finally climbs out of it, that will define him more than any crown ever could. The cameras are still rolling, the world is still watching, but the question remains, how much of himself is Harry willing to lose in this quest for a version of justice that may never exist? Only time will tell.